Hello, I'm Simulator and welcome back to Train Sim World. Today we are in the cab of a Class 483 electric multiple unit. We're on the Isle of Wight and I'm doing the tutorial again because it's been actually some time since I've done it, and part of the reason that I'm doing it again is because there's actually a new version of the Isle of Wight, because there's a new version of the actual line. So we're just in the tutorial. Master key on. The master key lever is right next to it. Master key lever on.
Switch the headlights to on.
Switch the headlights. Can be very finicky to work with a controller just to get where you're looking into the, or where you need to touch into the. Says my headlight is already on. Maybe if I stand up. Now if I can't do this, it's not going to let me go on to do anything else. Let me try it with the mouse. Hang on. Headlight on.
A lot of your time will be spent in the driver's seat.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Insert the reverser key.
Alright. Reverser key is on.
Move the reverser to the forward 1 position.
Reverser to forward 1. Okay, hang on a second. The reverser to forward 1. There we go.
Now move the train brake into the released position.
Wrong way.
Move the master controller into the shunting position to start moving forward.
Okay, so we need to stop at Wright St John's Road Depot, siding 5, because that's we're there at the moment.
To prepare the multi-unit for stopping, you can use the brake lever. Set this to EP hold.
EP hold. So there's basically two versions of the Isle of Wight line that this is, both in real life and also now on Train Sim World 2. The line was closed for basically 2 years to enable upgrades and newly upgraded trains that we'll see soon. But we're starting with the original first, the Class 483, that have now been retired. Right, set the train brake to EP max. Set the reverser to off. Set the reverser key to off. The master key lever, it's finicky because they're both together. Master key lever off, and the master key off.
Headlights are important. In letting others around, know that this multiple unit is operational.
Headlight off.
Go to the opposite cab to start this service.
Okay, so this will give us a good look at the Class 483. From memory, this was 38 stock on the London Underground. So you can see strip maps of the local network. We're at Ryde St John's Road. And there's been some upgrades to the line when the line was closed for such a long time. The global pandemic certainly didn't help. Hang on, where have I gone? The global pandemic certainly didn't help, but there was also a lot of work that needed to be done, and also there were issues with the train, with the new trains. Now, when I say new trains, they're not necessarily new trains as in they were built specially for the line. Again, converted London Underground stock from a previous era, updated to modern standards. Okay, so we'll go in and we'll do the same here. Right. Master key on, key lever on. Lower the driver's seat before sitting down. So we're just basically repeating the process because we've just changed hands. Reverse the key on into forward one. Brakes released into shunt. We didn't turn our headlights on. It's only a very short trip. Actually, we can do that now. Now, it's going to be interesting to compare the differences, so that's why I'm doing it back-to-back, and it's going to be a long episode. So we can see some of the differences in between the new version, which basically opened in 2022, the new version of the line, the stations, and the trains. Oh, the brakes are surprisingly good. Now this is what I don't like. Go to the guard panel to open the passenger doors. Alright, so we have to go to the panel up here. And we have to in real life, I don't think we'd be doing this. Alright, so we go, so load passengers. I'm just going to sit here. Because they don't even make it easy. They don't even put the equipment just behind the driver's door. So we'll see what happens. Alright, locked door. So I'm presuming we have to do this again. Although this time it doesn't actually say. Closed doors left.
Move the master controller
Hello.
into the full series position to start moving forward with more power.
Can I get in the cab first? Oh god, I hope I don't have to do that at every station. It's going to be a pain in the backside. Alright. Close the door. Sit in the seat. So about 30 kilometres an hour is the speed limit. So we'll just stick on this speed. So it's third rail, electric multiple unit. So it's obviously in common with London Underground. So we can see a semaphore signal there. We will drive the entire route. Oops, haven't been paying attention to my speed. So we were speeding a bit. If my headlight's on, it's just painted on. Can't see anything in this tunnel. Alright, just coming into view now. It's the end of the tunnel. Now there have been some improvements made since the original Isle of Wight episode that I've done. Some improvements and some updates that have been done. So we've only got very short trains, long platform to work with. Now I'm going to see if this is actually going to work. No, I have to go back and make sure that we go out the correct door. Can get a bit disorientating. Why are you all sitting in the dark? Have I forgotten to turn the lights on or something, which they haven't told me that I needed to do? The interior passenger lights. Now, I presume there was a guard on these trains. I don't necessarily know. And we might just step on the platform. Seems very dark. There we go. Okay, passengers, your train is ready for boarding. Alright, so we've almost... Alright, so we'll... go to the cab. And yeah, I didn't notice that the passenger lights weren't on before. Alright, so we'll close the door. So where would we be looking for passenger lights? Over here. They're all circuit breakers. I must have turned my wipers on by mistake. One of these lights, I reckon. Cab light on, that gives us a bit more light. Door cut out. Headlight on. Couple cold start instrument light, we'll turn that on. Turn their instrument lights on, cab light on. We do have a horn. We'll turn our wipers off. Now I need to find now on some of the London Underground trains they're actually on the other side. That's the park brake or the handbrake. That looks like a door control panel right here. So I don't know why I've got to go back to the other one. Alright, we'll sit in the seat. Now, I believe there's been some improvements made to the water to make it a little bit more lifelike. You can see at some stage that the platform was significantly longer, but it's been blocked off because of the shorter trains. do have a speed limit change coming up, so we're not necessarily rushing to this next. So 15 miles an hour coming into the platform, 24 kilometres an hour, short train, long platform. And we've made it to the end of the line. Alright, shut down the A cab and return to the D cab. So our brake goes into EP max. Our reverser goes into off. We take reverser key out. Master key lever off. Master key out. Not very user friendly, you'd have to admit. Alright, so we'll shut the... We haven't even opened the passenger doors yet. So we need to open them on the right. But maybe because we shut down the train, maybe we can't do it. It's one thing these tutorials don't necessarily explain. And certainly a difference that I'm looking forward to in the Newcastle train that we'll be driving soon. Alright, so, alright, here we go. Master key on. It's just a lot of repetition. Master key on. Master key on. Master key lever on. Headlight on. We did forget to turn our headlight off. Now it's telling us to unlock the doors. Does that mean we have to leave the cab again? Can we use the... Can we use the one there? No. And I've accidentally turned the wipers on again. Maybe we can we use the one just behind us? Oh, we seriously don't have to go back to the front, to the back, what is now the back car, do we? Seriously? Alright, doors open right. Oh, it's very finicky. Sorry, folks. the passengers are getting off. Time to lock the doors. You gotta get your little cursor thingy right in the right position. Okay, so next off. See, we got disorientated, so we went to the back cab because we were in the back car. Alright, we can. And there's not a lot of room to move in these cabs. And these London cabs. Alright, so we'll turn our wiper off. Accidentally activated that as I was trying to so we haven't even finished our cab setup yet. Reverser key on. Reverser into forward 1. Oh, it must be empty now. Just running trains on the one track in that section certainly does limit the service capacity. Probably hit those points too hard. There's the tunnel. A very soft train horn. Oh, whistle, as they would more correctly say. Need to put some brake on. Alright, so we have a distance signal there, which indicates that the next signal could be at stop. That can't actually show a stop indication because that's not the purpose of a distance signal. The purpose of a distance signal is to give warning for the next signal only. that signal is clear, even though it doesn't show it on the didn't really show it on the heads-up display. So we're coming into basically where we started from. Oh, now it wants us to... we must have a shunting signal here, do we? Yes, we do. So even though the main signal's at stop, we do have a shunting signal ahead, which is clear. So we're basically going the way that we went before. Now in some areas this could be called a shunting neck. And just because the heads-up display says that we can do up to 70 kilometers an hour, we're on a shunting neck, so that speed limit doesn't apply to us. And we know that we have to turn around and change ends in a minute anyway. Alright, so we're changing ends again, even though it specifically hasn't said that, but that's what I understand what we're doing. So master controller off, reverser into off, reverser key out, we'll turn our headlight off, and we'll take our key lever out, master key off, get out of the seat, fortunately for us we left the internal door open earlier. Alright, back in the seat, we can tell the difference because we turned the cap light on at this end. Alright, so we just do the process again. Master key on, key lever on, reverser key in, or reverser key on to be technically correct. Reverser into forward 1, probably wants us to sit down. And very low speed into the depot is the order of the scenario now. So we're just going to go really slow. We can see we've got another train right there. Just a little bit of a move to go. Okay, the couple button is using for coupling multiple units together. Oh, we're going to couple up, are we? Couple to vehicle. So very slowly. Just a little bit of a movement with the shunt. Alright, set the handbrake lever to 30%. Oh, it can only go to 30%, okay. Okay, it's at 30%, now what? Yeah. Okay, my handbrake lever's set at 30%. Oh, I must have to do the one at the other end. The handbrake vise to fully applied. I don't even understand what a handbrake vise is. Handbrake partially applied, releasing, applying. So this is completing the process from 30% to set the train brake to Westinghouse hold. I don't remember having to do any of this before last time I did this, but it's been a while. Westinghouse hold.
Good work. That is the basics covered. A manual can also be obtained that provides more details about the full functionality of this multiple unit.
Alright, so that's the Isle of Wight. That's what it looks like. The class 483. I'm now at level 30. Isle of Wight level 4. Isle of Wight class 483 level 4. So let's continue. Alright, so what we might do now is we'll go back to the main menu while we're in this mode of doing the tutorial. I have not looked at any videos of Train Sim World of the new version of Isle of Wight. Hasn't been out for very long. And I think I've only looked at one real life video of the Isle of Wight. Isle of Wight 2022 is what we want. So we've got 2 modules to do. The Isle of Wight 2022 introduction and the class 484, which is the new version of the train. So we'll have a look at both of those. So it's interesting to see some of the screenshots that have been selected. That bridge doesn't look like it goes anywhere. The Erosa line, that was also done by Rivet Games, who have done both of these routes for the Isle of Wight.
Welcome to Train Sim World 2, an immersive and highly detailed rail simulation featuring authentic routes and trains from around the world.
So this assumes that you've never played Train Sim World before, so we'll just go along with it.
You've just been awarded some action points. These are displayed in the top right corner of the screen and count towards your overall experience. Besides operating trains, there are lots of requirements to navigate on foot. Try moving around now.
So interesting, this wasn't here before, the passenger information display. I don't remember that being here before. We're at the same station and we can see, we'll just have a look around the station first. There's some ramps, there's some tactile tiles, there's some steps. Station looks like it's had a little bit of a paint job. And we'll just have a look at our train now. So it's still a 2-car unit. Looks so much more modern than the 38 stock. So we've got a new car marker there. And this is looks like a ticket validator. That's new. So this represents what the Island Line, as it's now being called. This station was opened on the 23rd of August 1864. That's cool. Now there have been changes, but there has been a lot of improvements. Still no step-free access though, to use a London term. Has improved at some of the other stations though. The depot is looking cleaner.
This is one of the many interactives to be discovered, but not all of them will be as easy to find as this one.
So it's all about find the collectibles, blah 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 blah. I don't care. I don't go to work to find collectibles or PlayStation maps or fire extinguishers or any of that crap, so...
A lot of time will be spent operating trains, so when ready, sit in the driver's seat.
Open the staff door and enter the cab. This is new. Alright, so we can just... check this cab out. Need to close the cab door. Yes, we should have done that before we sat down. Oh, there's a cab close button. Wowee. How are we doing? You just have to get your little thingy. don't want to sit in the driver's seat. I want to close this cab door. You think you got your little cab door release? Oh, and they've even got one so you can access it from track level. That's cool. Now it decides it wants to work.
This train is ready to go. Push the indicated handle backwards to get moving.
Okay, so we'll sit in the driver's seat first. Can we sit in the seat? Can we? Alright, so we'll sit in the driver's seat. Y. E. Let me sit in the seat. Okay, this is not good. Alright, set the throttle lever to... We're going to have to use a mouse for this. We'll use the time to explore the cab. So we've got isolation switches, emergency stop, TWPS, instrument lights, a second speedo so somebody like a driver, trainer or a guard can observe the hang on, we've got destination board. Couple and uncouple buttons, train recorder, fault, dragging brake, wheel slip protection, fault, train stop override. Can I sit in the driver's seat? So the passengers can release and open the doors. Alright, well. So what's that? Temporary isolation fault. Cab light. Battery low voltage. Train recorder fault. There's a safety system isolated. But the main thing is, maybe if I go out of the cab and try again. So we can release and close the doors from here. But the main thing is, it's not letting me sit in the driver's seat. Doesn't matter what I press. Doesn't matter. Doesn't seem to matter what I press. This is annoying. Sit in driver's seat. There's the driver's seat. I don't want to have to restart, but I think I might have to. Oh, that's a good view.
Welcome to Train Sim World 2, an immersive and highly detailed rail simulation featuring authentic routes and trains from around the world.
Alright, so we'll try again.
You've just been awarded some action points. These are displayed in the top right corner of the screen and count towards your overall experience. Besides operating trains, there are lots of requirements to navigate on foot. Try moving around now.
I don't know who this guy is. I don't know if he's from the Isle of Wight or... So we'll try again. We don't need to look around because we've already done that, so we'll just zoom through this as much as we can. Yes, it's a collectible.
This is one of the many interactives to be discovered, but not all of them will be as easy to find as this one.
It didn't give me a happy tone
A lot of time
before.
will be spent operating trains, so when ready, sit in the driver's seat.
I was trying to do that before. Alright. So we'll sit in the driver's seat. Oh yeah! Close the cab door. Now, should we really be able to close the cab door while we're sitting down?
This train is ready to go. Push the indicated handle backwards to get moving.
Alright, so... Hang on, brake one. Throttle brake one, okay, so we're in brake one, reach 20 miles an hour. So I think it got confused before because I was trying to do things like in the real world, which is what we're supposed to do. And press the cab door closed from the
This part of the
from
Isle
standing
of
up.
Wight runs for roughly 10 miles and runs commuter services between Ryde Pier and Shanklin. This particular train is the BR Class 484 electric multiple unit and consists of 2 cars. Train SimWorld 2 allows you to ride and drive from a selection of camera views. Let's take a look now while exploring this train.
I thought they got rid of all the semaphore signals. So there is our Class 484, 2-car electric multiple unit. Oh, that's a different horn. cab.
You've only explored a small area here, so let's take a look at what else there is to enjoy.
So it does have a separate level system for the Isle of Wight 2022 on the Class 484, which is what I expected. So we should go on now to the tutorial for the Class 484.
Welcome to this introduction for the BR Class 484 Electric Multiple Unit. During this introduction, we will go through the following procedures: starting and stopping the train, loading and unloading. Climb aboard to get started.
Oh, there's another toy. Mind you, I'm not going to go around and look for the other 8 ticket machines. So we're at Ride Pier. You can see there's a difference to the water. We'll have a look as we get a bit closer. So there's fence there, it's clear to be seen. No tactile tiles or anything there, so that track's not meant for passenger use. So we'll get on board the train.
The cab door button needs to be held for a couple of seconds before the cab door will open.
Alright, so we'll set the driver's seat, because we learned that before, didn't we? And close the cab door.
A lot of your time will be spent in the driver's seat.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Switch the master key to unlocked.
That's a more
to
user-friendly
enable this
position.
cab for driving.
That's more of a user-friendly position, unlocked.
The destination board and train lights let the passengers know that this service is running and operational. Set the destination board to Ride St. John's and turn on the train lights.
So how do we know? Maybe we need to zoom in. Maximum speed 45, that's not the destination. We must have done it. Select the saloon lights, which is something we didn't do on the Class 483. Saloon lights on.
Good work. Now set the reverser to forward.
Reverser to forward.
The reverser controls the direction of travel when power is applied relative to the driver cabin view.
Alright, so we've done
There are
that.
door open, closing buttons on each side of the cab. Each button opens, closes the doors on their respective side.
Okay, so that's
Press
behind
the door
us.
release button for the appropriate platform side to allow passengers to climb aboard.
That's much more convenient. So we're loading our passengers. What we should do is have a look outside while we're here. Small brook. Oops, wrong one.
The throttle lever is split into two zones, throttle and braking. The braking zone controls the multiple units' dynamic brakes. The throttle zone controls the power supplied to the traction motors.
Okay, so maybe we have to press it again.
Drive to the next station using the throttle lever.
Like, I want to get the destination right. Sorry dudes, but Shankin. Shame special. It's a shame it just doesn't reset to the last position that you're already in, blank. Because there's no way of... Doesn't show you there. Is that welcome aboard? Oh, it's going to take forever to scroll through. Not in service. Hang on. What did I see down there? Oh, it's showing on there now. Okay. Right, Esplanade. I knew there had to be an easier way. Right, St. John's. Alright, we're in the seat. And that even sounds a lot different. A more modern train. It's basically been rebuilt from, I think, the District line from memory in the London Underground. I could be wrong. See, the waters looks different. So what we'll do for this on this episode is we're going through the introduction. Oh, look at the hovercraft over there. Tell I haven't explored this route any. Oh, I'm speeding. Just got to remember single controller now. Braking one. Go through that red signal. Yes, we are. Bugger. That's the problem with single-handle controller sometimes. And I think the labelling was a bit how you going as well, but oh, we're still powering. That's...
Welcome to this introduction for the BR Class 484 Electric Multiple Unit. During this introduction, we will go through the following procedures: starting and stopping the train, loading and unloading. Climb aboard to get started.
Okay, let's go. Now, we found the dinosaur thingy before, so we don't have to find it again. Now, one thing you notice with things like Train Sim World, if you try and go out of order or make the wrong steps, it doesn't necessarily like it. Sit in the driver's seat. Alright, I've climbed aboard the... Hang on, what does it want me to do? Does it want me to... Oh! This is exactly what I was talking about. If you get things out of order, I knew that I had to go straight to the train. But it wants me to go through its little waypoints first. So it's like, oh, I'm right here, but because I haven't gone via the waypoints. I didn't go via the waypoint, which means absolutely nothing in relation to where the train actually is. But because I went straight to the train and didn't go through the waypoints, which is not something you do in real life, and now I have to go through another waypoint. Now, probably calling it cartoony is probably the wrong word, but it's a bit unrealistic to expect you to walk through these waypoints when you know you just have to climb on the train.
The cab door button needs to be held for a couple of seconds before the cab door will open.
We'll sit in the driver's seat. We'll close the cab door.
A lot of your time will be spent in the driver's seat.
This is where I say, thank you, Captain Obvious.
Switch the master key to unlocked. The destination board and train lights let the passengers know that this service is running and operational. Set the destination board to Ride St. John's and turn on the train lights.
Okay, so we have... You've got to have your little thing in exactly the right spot. And if I scroll in too hard, I can't see the... Welcome aboard, not in service, Ride Pier Head, which is where we are now, Ride Esplanade, Ride St. John's. Saloon lights. Go to on.
Good work. Now set the reverser to forward.
Reverser to forward.
The reverser controls the direction of travel when power is applied relative to the driver cabin view. There are door open, closing buttons on each side of the cab. Each button opens, closes the doors on their respective side. Press the door release button.
Alright, we're just about finished loading our passengers.
The throttle lever is split into two zones, throttle and braking. The braking zone controls the multiple units' dynamic brakes. The throttle zone controls the power supplied to the traction motors. Drive to the next station using the throttle lever.
See, what I think I'd prefer it to be called, I think I'd prefer to call it Power One, or power to. Brake 1, brake 2 as other routes have called, other trains have called it, just for the ease. Because if it comes up throttle brake 1, you think, oh, I'm braking, but hang on, no, you're not. You're actually throttling. So now that could just be called off or idle. Idle's more of a diesel term. So that's brake. No. So that was power 2, even though it says throttle brake. Brake, when you're in the power zone, brake should not even appear on the screen. So I've shut off now, so I'm coasting. It's a very detailed cab. So it comes up braking 1 there, braking 2. It's the first time I've actually really braked full service. Pardon me. Open the passenger doors. Now this time, the passenger doors are... My passenger door. Oh, you got to walk all the way over there. Well, it's a lot better than having to walk down the other end of the train, I guess. Now, again, I'm not sure if in real life this is done by the driver or a guard. Nice new looking train, lots of circuit breakers, lots of controls. This is only basically touching the surface. Let's have a load our passengers. Even got cup holders. So this is the big long tunnel that we went through before. And they've also done a lot of work with the track as well. So that semaphore signal's still there, the distant, which is interesting because I thought they got rid of all those. Still relatively low speed limit, so here is the next signal. We're probably only going to go to the next stop. so we'll unlock our doors again. In reality, it's a two-finger operation. Alright, so we'll lock our doors. Set the throttle lever to off. Not emergency brake. Okay, so we're shutting down the train here, are we? Okay, set the reverser to off. I thought we might have left it in full service or something. Reverser to off. The train lights. Seems strange you have to turn the passenger lights off every time you change ends. Set the headlights to off. We never even set them to on, but they were already done for us. Headlights off.
Good work. That is the basics covered. A manual can also be obtained that explains the full functionality and features of this multiple unit. The Isle of Wight route is fitted with TPWS beacons along the route. More information about TPWS can be found in the manual.
Train protection warning system, by the way. Alright, there we go. So we have done the introduction to the Class 484. Had the door a couple of times because I failed. But we got there. So what we might do is go back to the main menu, and we're going to have a look at our scenarios for our Class 483. Or we may even just do a full route from one end to the other. Alright, so we'll switch route. And so we'll go back to Isle of Wight. We'll have a look at our operate a passenger service from Ridehead Pier to Shanklin. That's what we need to do. Okay, so we're going to run a service from Ridehead Pier to Shanklin because we haven't been out that far yet. Here we go. So we're going to do that now. So we're going to do that on the Class 483. And then we're going to do the exact same route on the Class 484, and we'll compare the differences. All right, so that's all right. Okay, so we don't have the passenger door buttons near us again, so. So that's a shame. And this just shows one of many advantages. Okay, platforms on that side. One of the many advantages of the Class 484. So we're going to load our passengers. Alright, we'll close our doors. Again, you have to get your little mousey right in the right spot. Doesn't help that anything's not labelled. Did we close all the doors or just that one door? Okay, that doesn't help. Do you wish to give up control? Well, you know what? We are going to give up control and we're going to let a professional do it. Hey mate, just doing some road knowledge with you. I want to get as close as I can to him without being on top of him. Can we sit down? No. Hello mate, how you doing? Alright? Yeah, I'm just new to the depot. Just feeling my way through. Oh, hang on. Wrong button. I'll turn the HUD off. There we go. That'll work. I'll turn the HUD off. And this will give me a chance to look at the line without actually having to drive it. Alright, so here we are at Ryde St John Road. Now the doors open by themselves, so I don't know if they've got somebody doing the doors or anything for us. I'm just trying to get it camera into a good position. There we go. That's probably as good as we're going to get. So, big long tunnel we're going through. So this section of the track, we have done before, but from this next station is going to be new territory for both of us. There's another train. So what they've had to do in some areas is to change the track geometry to fit the new trains, because the new trains are taller and bigger. They're built to a different standard, but in some areas they were able to raise the platform to where the section of the platform where the trains would actually be on the platform. So they've raised those sections and that section only, and transitioned the rest of the platform that currently exists. Or what they've had to do in other areas, rather than build the platform up, is to actually lower the track. So rip the track out, excavate, do a new base, do a new track, so the track is actually lower than what it was before. So now we're going into unfamiliar territory. So this is where in the scenario for the Class 483 we'd actually turn out onto the track on the left hand side, change ends and then go back into the depot or go back to the opposite platform. But this time we are actually maybe a bit better. If we can go all the way out. No, we can't. Not a lot of room in these cabs. So that's the end of the shunting neck. We'll see if he obeys the whistle board. Dude, you didn't obey the whistle board. So we've got a caution signal there. And we have a red signal right there. There we go, it's just changed for us. Okay, so what we've done now, we've gone on to a single section of track. Are we stopping here, my dude? I didn't think there were any skip stoppers on this line, but we'll go with it. So we're now on a single line section. So for one train to pass another, you have to coordinate the timetable. So that happens on the double section of track. Because otherwise what will happen when we get to the end of this single line section, there may be a train waiting for us. But the sound's pretty good. I can imagine the sound sounding like this. We just seem to be coasting at the moment. How we going, old mate? Alright. Just happy to be here. Oops. So we know when we entered the single track section, we had a green signal, so there should be no other trains in this section. And I think from memory they also added another crossing loop when they upgraded the line for the 2022 reopening. But after this we'll do exactly the same trip. And it will be interesting to see basically the same trip from a different type of train. So we've got a warning of a speed zone change to 20 miles an hour coming up. It's a whistle board, which old mate ignored. Now it's having some issues drawing in. Another whistle board. So it's a long section. It's a long section in between stations. So there's a few pedestrian crossings. Here comes our next station. Now it looks like at one stage there may have been a second track. Where are we? Oh, it doesn't tell me where we are because we're not driving. No, we're closing the door. I don't know the order of the stations, so... So there's 5 Class 484 trains now. Just having a read here on the Southwestern Railway website, which operates the line. There's now 5 Class 484 trains, so they can make longer trains. There's been a new passing loop put in at Brading. There's been improvements to the track and signals. There's new ticket machines been installed, platforms raised at many stations so people can get on and off easier. So this is the end of the single line. They are former London Underground trains extensively refurbished. Upgraded interiors, passenger information systems, at-seat charging points, wheelchair spaces and free Wi-Fi. So we're just coming into a station now. There's new signalling and electrical equipment. There's track enhancement work. There's been adjustments to platform heights. And a new passing loop at Brading Station. Alright, so we are waiting. Might go and have a look at the passenger view for a moment. I'm not sure why we're waiting. So having a look at the route map, we started at Ryde Pierhead, Ryde Esplanade, Ryde St John's Road. I think we didn't stop at Smallbrook Junction, Brading, Sandown Lake and Shanken. So where are we now? The platform signs are hard to read here. And so one thing that doesn't help, when you open the TrainSim World map, so we can pick up a little bit of speed on this double track, on this single track section by the looks of things. Certainly been so good not having to operate the doors. Oh, that was a bit of a bounce. Okay, so this is Lake. So what we might do here, we might leave the train quickly, try and use that camera before the doors close. See if we can do it. Oh, we found something, I don't know what. Oh, we added a route map by mistake. Oh, it was just a collectible. It wasn't actually something to that we could use to take a photo. Hey mate, I'm back. Leisurely time, just sitting here. And here we come to the end of the line at Shankin. Thank you, mate. Good job. I'm going to explore the city. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for the ride. Yeah, you're right, mate. So here we are. We have arrived. We had a... Okay, this will do for our cover up. And so now we have taken the class 483 the entire way, all the way from Ridehead Pier to where we are now. So we'll just have a quick explore of the station while we're here. Okay, 8:18 it's due to leave. So it's due out in a minute. Oh, there he is. Actually, this would be a better cover shot anyway. Yeah, there we go. That will be nice. So our next train's not for an hour. Oh no, half an hour. And off he goes. See you, mate. Oh, he's still got his headlights on at the back. So there we have it. That is the class 483. Now we're going to go back to our main menu, and we are going to switch the route. We're going to fast forward into the future, into the 2022 version. I'm going to do the 2022 version now. We need to switch the route. Isle of Wight 2022. We will explore the timetable. Okay, so there it is. Continue. Let's do a comparable service. Ride Esplanade to Shanklin. Let's do that. So somebody's already put steam trains on the West Somerset Railway. That looks cool. Right, so we're going to get unlock the doors on the right. So we need to get out of the seat. Alright. Oh, hang on, did we not start at the pier? Okay, let's continue. Oh, was it not set the reversal or anything up for us? No. Because sometimes you don't know exactly how it's been set up for you. Hang on a second. So they didn't even have the key on. But then again, we have seen from Ride Pier on this episode in this class, so we'll continue on. We'll go through the tunnel. Did we set up the indicators at the destination board and stuff? Yes, that's been done for us. Now we need to brake, not power. Oh, the drivers would have had to have undergone, even though the track's basically the same, there would have been there were some new features added, and then reloading the train. But I wonder, pardon me, I wonder what all the drivers were doing when there were no trains. Because there was no trains for quite some time. There were no trains for quite some time while they were rebuilding the railway. So we can unlock our doors. Whoops, wrong one. Wasn't necessarily the shot that I meant. I don't know why I can't. Oh, I don't like that clipping. That's not good. And I've accidentally put the reverser into off. Alright, so we'll lock our doors. So much faster acceleration, much more comfortable, many facilities that obviously weren't even really a thing in in years gone by. Access for people with disabilities and other mobility issues. Automatic things like passenger information systems, Wi-Fi, power. So now we can crank it up a bit. Our next station isn't until 5 kilometres away at Brading. So you'd think that you'd stop there. There's quite a few passengers there. I think they only use that station for special events or for tourist season. Because from memory, there's a steam railway somewhere in that area that they use. They use that as a connection, but it's not all the time. So we're coming in nicely for the change of speed at about 500 metres. There's our new speed limit, 40 miles an hour. I've still got everything in kilometres per hour because that's what I understand. Like, I understand miles per hour more than some people. I've got a big speed reduction coming up, so we need to start braking. Ah, not into emergency, too far. So we've got braiding coming up. There's our 15 kilometre net. So we've got a route indicator. Not emergency and numpty. So that signal was definitely new. Coming into braiding, didn't have a route indicator or anything like that before. We can see the other train waiting for us. So we've done that, now we need to release our doors. Alright. Sand down next. A little bit too fast. Oops, not paying attention. shut off now. We've got a kilometre to go, so it slows down again coming into Sandown. Putting some brake in. Brakes seem pretty good. Naturally, in real life, you'd have your braking markers that you'd want to use. So we'll just crawl in. Now that we've gone under a bit, we can speed up just a little bit. Still got over 500 metres or half a kilometre to go before we actually get to Sandown. Signal, and there's our marker, and Sandown's just behind that. So we could have come in a lot hotter than what we did. We've got an even stricter one coming into the platform. Not exactly sure why. Now what I'm going to do another episode after this one where we're going to point out some of the differences at some of the stations, and this is a classic one here at Sandown, where if you have a look out at the window, you can see here the height of the original platform and the height of the platform as it exists now. They've actually, rather than removing the track at this location, they've built that, so they've kept the original platform as the base, and they've built they've basically raised the platform on top of the heritage platform. And there is provision for 4-car trains if that needs to happen because of special events, summer, tourist season, all those sort of things. So here at Sandown is a classic example of some of the work that was done So we do have to be careful because there's only a small speed limit. It's only still 16 kilometres an hour coming off the platform. Alright, so Lake is our next platform, and just under a kilometre. So we can afford to give it a little bit of power. Haven't got any speed limit changes between here and Lake. So this will be a good test of bringing it up to a decent speed, seeing the station or a landmark, and coming in where we don't have to worry about coming in at a low speed. So we've started braking now. We can see the platform. It's coming down nicely. We know we've got a platform to work with, but we want to get as close to the 2-car marker as we can. Coming in nicely. We didn't need to go into emergency. I thought I was coming in better than that. Well, basically found the 4-car mark. Basically found the 4-car mark. Alright, we'll lock our doors. Okay, Shanklin is our next stop. The end of the line. 6, 7. We've got 7 notches of power. So just a relatively short section, the Shanklin, slow speed into the platform. It's been a pretty nice run, actually. Start reducing our speed. Not sure what that warning board or notice board's about. So we know that the buffer stops is basically acting as our last signal at a slow speed onto the platform, because it's a terminating location with buffer stops at the end. So we're just going to come in nice and slowly. that sign wasn't there before. Welcome to Shanklin. Alright, we need to unlock the doors, let our passengers out. Now for some reason it wants us to lock the doors again as we change ends, and that'll probably be the end of the scenario. So there we go, we have done the complete route from Ryde all the way to Shanklin in both the newer Class 484 that we just did and also the Class 483. Anywho, I've been Simulator Dirk. We're going to come back to the Isle of Wight next episode. We're going to show you some different things. I'm going to do some reading in the meantime as well so we can explore. So it'll be a slightly different episode of Train Sim World here on Simulator Dirk. Anywho, I've been Simulator Dirk. You've been wonderful. It's been a long episode, but well worth it. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.